Hello everyone, my name is Dominic J, and today I'm going to show you how to get a sub 20 in SM64 16 star using beginner movement only. I am a top 100 runner. I got a sub 20 in a couple of weeks of playing, and a lot of the early material that I found really helped me learn the game quickly and get a sub 20 faster than perhaps usual. Now in this run, I'm only going to be using dive rollouts pretty much in the castle movement, so it's almost all long jumps. It shouldn't be too difficult the movement wise. I'm intentionally using dive rollouts and castle movement because I think that's the best time for you to try to learn the timing on the rollout when you're safe in between levels. The hardest trick I'm going to use is Lakitu skip, which is easy to learn but hard to get down consistently. So hopefully this tutorial actually helps you get it down consistently faster with the setup. The setup I use, I hold up right before the cutscene even finishes, and you're also going to hold down A. You just mash B, you can see my controls above my head, to get this jump kick right away. This lets you get a very good lineup with the left side of the bridge and a very consistent Lakitu. Hold down the Mario Cam button as you enter the castle so you have a straight angle for this door. A couple of long jumps gets you in there. And as we enter BOB, as the screen fades from white to the actual level, hit C down and C left right away, C left and then C down. And that gives you the sign lineup that you'd like to see. We're going to spam long jumps, get up here, long jump to the red coin, and intentionally get hit by this chain jump as he winds up his first hit. Now the reason I do that is because that lets me fully finish the peg before he even starts his second attack. If you dodge the first attack and let him wind up, you'll probably have to deal with his second attack as well, whereas if you just hit the first time, you won't have to worry about that. This first castle movement will show our first dive rollout, and you'll notice that it's a long jump down and right, a long jump straight down, and then a dive rollout upright. If you use a long jump there instead of a dive rollout, it won't be much slower, but again, I recommend you learning dive rollout during castle movement. 2 long jumps to the painting, and once we enter Whomp's fortress, the first thing I'm going to show you is cannonless. Now, if you want to see an in-depth video for cannonless, you can click on that elsewhere. But I'm going to show you movement that might be a little difficult, a little intermediate, but I think it's worth learning. So you dive roll it up here, 1 long jump, C right, 1 long jump, C right twice, dive roll it up here. Once you're here, make sure you jump until the plank pushes you. Now you can hold straight down, fast get up with the A button, and do the rest of your cannonless setup. Every time you grab a ledge in the game, you're going to hit A to get up quickly, unless it's the plank that you're using to get cannonless. That's the only time you press up to climb up slowly, because you have to hold down while Mario's in the climb up animation. And again, getting that plank push lets you ensure you have the right angle for cannonless. Now to get to the top of the fortress, I'm going to start a triple jump early by jumping over the gate. And I'm going to do a dive rollout on the wall kick. So what that wall kick actually looked like, if you look back slowly at the controller above me, is you hit A and B at almost the same exact time. So that way Mario instantly enters a dive with the wall kick. So it's a wall kick dive. When I'm fighting the King Whomp, I like to go off the side of him with a little jump kick because that's a lot safer than ground pounding through him as a beginner. The next star we're going to do is actually not top of the tower. Make sure you get the wall kick star, or the side flip star, called Shoot Into the Wild Blue, before you get the top of the tower star, so that way the owl doesn't spawn as you go for this. You can jump out of the tree a little early if you're afraid of jumping off the edge out of the tree. Again, I'm just going to use long jumps to get over here. No wall kicks necessary. And right there, I did what's called a slide kick. Z and B will let you slide kick and not interact with the pole at all. Okay, now we can get our second star on top of the tower, and it's going to do the same exact movement as fighting the Whomp. So, this will help you learn it even faster. Dive roll out of the tree, 3 long jumps to the top, triple jump over the gate, wall kick dive up here, and here you can either double jump into that wall like that, or just side flip into it. You can maybe go for the double jump right away, and if you fail it, then back it up with a side flip, or you can jump on the platform from a side angle and go straight into the side flip. Both would be pretty quick, just depending on your angle of approach. The final star is the owl star. Do not try to learn owlless until you already have a sub 20. It's not worth your time. I like to do a little wall kick after waking up the owl. Make sure you climb high enough to wake him up, and then you'll see I'm already right underneath them, ready to pick him up. You hold right when you first enter the owl, and then go back and forth right and left as you steer him over the star, and make sure you ground pound once you think you're over the cage. The reason you ground pound is to cancel your animation so that you don't fly backwards. Now there, you'll notice I have a 516 in Whomps, which is pretty decent. And you can do that with very minimal dive rollouts. All pretty beginner-friendly stuff. Instead of that long jump on the second half of that castle movement, you could also use a dive rollout, which is customary in the better runs. And for this movement, we're going to use 2 long jumps to get this painting. If you fail that second long jump like I just did, just back it up with a jump dive into the painting, or a little jump kick at the bottom. It doesn't really matter. Try to triple jump onto this platform if you can. If you fail it, just side flip up from the chimney. And just be brave with this ping one. This is a lot easier than it looks. One of the most fun parts of the game. Have a little fun with it. Bringing little tucks to his mama. Now, in the Japanese version, which is slightly faster for 16 star, the star will spawn above the penguin's head, but I assume most beginners will be using the US version. The second star in CCM is a lot harder, but everyone kind of has their own way of doing it. I like to see left here, start with a double jump, just hold it as you get over the ledge, and then push up on the stick and kick. And I've died. How exciting. Will I edit this out? Probably not. Now let's see if I can still get a sub 20 even with the death. A lot of beginners reset way more than they actually need to. Don't be worried about getting the perfect run. Okay, now that we're down here, we Mario Cam and then Lakitu Cam to reset the camera. I did fail that long jump wall kick. There we go. So whenever the camera gets stuck at a high altitude, it's Mario Cam, Lakitu Cam to reset it. We're now done with CCM. I have a 705. You should be able to beat that time since I had a death. Jump kick down and then do 2 long jumps to get to this door. I almost had a really bad angle there. Single jump over the rail, side flip on top to get to the star door. In Dark World, of course, we will not be doing the 8 reds. That's a very, very difficult star. In my opinion, getting the 8 reds is pretty much as hard as Owl is, and it doesn't even save a whole lot of time over another star in basement. But what my movement's going to look like is 3 long jumps, a jump dive rollout, into a triple jump. I do use some dive rollouts, but I will use them sparingly. That long jump through the fence is actually much easier than it might look. Don't be too afraid of it. Cut some corners here, have some fun. And then long jump way over here if you are brave enough. Long jumping along the left side of here is very simple to do, very easy. And it leads you right into those wall kicks. The braver you are and the more you go for, the quicker you'll learn the game. So don't be afraid to push yourself a little bit. What most beginners... Ooh, Bowser Dance. That's a rare, lucky thing. What most beginners do wrong with Bowser throws is that they actually overthrow it. If you overthrow Bowser, you're more likely to miss the bomb at slight angle deviations. Another thing to know about Bowser throws is that if you're having trouble spinning and releasing Bowser together, like you can't really get both motions down, spin him as much as you need first, and then hold up. That'll conserve your momentum, and then you can just focus on timing the throw. For this castle movement, we're going to use 1 long jump, followed by a dive rollout, a little off to the side. Wait for the camera to stabilize, and then hold straight down to get over that railing, otherwise Mario might spin around a little bit. And we're here at the key door. So, we're almost halfway through the run, and we just need to push through basement. Basement's actually my favorite part of the game. For here, I'm going to do a long jump, then a dive rollout. If that's too hard, just do the first long jump. And get up here, you really want to use dive rollouts. Long jumping is kind of dangerous in here. But if you can't get the dive rollouts, that's fine. For this one, you see down early. You can just long jump over this dune, and then use dive rollouts to get to this pillar. Once you hit the fly guy, you can hold A in the air to accelerate if you're not making it to the bird in time. Otherwise, you don't have to. Another thing people don't know about this star, or most beginners don't know, is that you have to go up the right side of that pillar, otherwise the fly guy might see you. If he sees you, he can use the attack where he dives at you, or the attack where he stays back and uses the fireball, or sometimes he still floats towards you, so it makes it RNG based. If you go up the right side, you'll always get the good version of the fly guy. Right there, I just C left once, hold straight left, and go for a triple jump dive up the dune. If you get stuck on that pillar, or that pyramid rather, you can use silly kicks to get up the rest of the way. A silly kick is holding the A button on a slope and spamming B, and you can get up almost any slope in the game except for mainly the Bowser 1 slope. It's the one slope you really can't silly kick up that you'll experience. Here we're going to intentionally take a booty burn to boost over to this platform. Long jump to get some red coins, and then we're going to use a couple of dive rollouts here. I actually get some dust there. And if you only want to use the last dive rollout, it's the safest one because it ends up into the star. Don't worry about all of them, but it is faster. Here we're going to hold right and do 2 long jumps to get to the HMC. Because Toad isn't here, we need to dive into this. I just noticed my splits are a little bit off. I actually forgot to save after Dark World, so I need to fix that real quick. But it's 3 long jumps to get to this door. And then, sometimes he gets in the way. No big deal, we'll just jump up. For this elevator clip, you're going to run into this wall to take a bump. Hold upright against this black part on the wall. And do a little dive at the bottom to avoid taking fall damage. The B button is going to be your best way to avoid taking fall damage in the game, not ground pounding. Either doing a dive roll at the bottom or a kick will prevent fall damage. Long jump into the Toad and talk to him while you have some forward momentum. That'll make it easier to talk to him faster. And of course, don't forget your ground pound as you pick up stars to avoid the animation of flying up to the air. And we'll do another jump slide into this portal, one of the only few times we use it, here on that Whomp's Fortress star. Again, every time we go for this door, it's a C right, followed by 3 long jumps. You can pull back a little bit if you're going to fly off the rails. For this star, killing the scuttlebug is fine. And just make sure you C left to get a good line up. Oops. The reason we do this star before the boulder star, so that way if you fly over and miss that star with the long jump, you have the backup star with boulders. For the boulder star in particular, there's a chance that the left boulder hits you. I think as a beginner player, you're probably not going to be able to dodge it. You usually have to do a quick dive rollout and see it coming a little bit early. So just go straight forward. I like to see down here for a little bit of visibility. And whatever happens, happens. If you do get hit by left side, just get these coins. Do not die to boulders. That would be very sad. Thank you. Okay. Here we have an accurate timer. It's a 234 HMC, 1241 total. Make sure you don't get the Toad star as your 15th star, otherwise MIPS will not spawn in the castle. You'll have to enter a level and suicide to spawn MIPS. I do some dive rollouts to get here quickly. You're not going to do that, so just plan on getting MIPS over here with a side flip dive down this ramp. The chance of getting MIPS early as a beginner is very unlikely, but it is a good chance to practice your dive rollouts and see if you can get them early. Jump with MIPS to move faster. For the MIPS clip, you want to get a very straight angle at the door, slightly to the right, and go slow. Don't rush this. As soon as you see MIPS' shadow disappear, you can hold Z and pick them up. Again, watch my button inputs if you need to see how the clip is done in detail. But you hold Z to drop MIPS, and that lets you get them through doors. The second door is much easier than the first. If you lose MIPS through that second door, you can reset the basement to get them back by going to a level and suiciding, or by going back upstairs and coming down again. However, if you collected his star, then you will not be able to reset MIPS if you lose him through that second star door. Swim timing is basically when Mario's feet clack together. If you have your sound on, you'll be able to learn based on the sound effects much easier. For this fin, you can actually kind of come off to the side here. This will make it easier for you as a beginner. Get up here, and then just jump up. Oops. Jump up and do silly kicks to get up is the easiest way to do it. And again, silly kicking, if you look at my controller, my inputs there, you just hold A for the first jump, never let go, and once you land on the slope, spam B. And you can kick up most slopes in the game. We're going to do a little jump, kick, jump, dive to get to Bowser 2. And getting Cycle 1 on Bowser 2 is actually very easy. I'm going to use a slightly difficult route here, but I'm confident you can follow it. Long jump into here. If you miss that long jump wall kick, just do a little side flip at the bottom to make it up. And in this elevator, we're going to side flip into the wall kick on the back wall. hold Z here, and you'll always get that jump rollout right there. So you long jump into that ramp with Z, keep holding Z to guarantee that dive rollout over the second half of that slope. Because Boxbox says left side, I'll do left side. This is pretty scary for a lot of beginners, but if you mess it up, just come over here, get some health, and do the right side. If you don't mess up that left side, you can take either 1 burn or 2 to get to this portal. Taking 1 burn will save you health, but it's a little scarier. So probably just long jump into the fire and take 2 burns on left side. Jump and kick over Bowser. Don't ground pound. You might clip to the stage and grab his tail. And again, don't overspin him. Otherwise, throws like that will miss. I'm not actually that good at Bowser throws, but because I don't overspin it, I have a decent success rate. Okay, for BLJs, I will tell you the biggest secret in the industry. 450 beats per minute is the perfect rate to BLJ at. And there's a YouTube metronome on YouTube. There's a video metronome on YouTube, 450 BPM metronome. I'm going to use that right now to get good BLJs, because otherwise I kind of struggle with them. I actually pull this up during my real runs and use it for timing. The jumps here into the staircase are not very difficult. Mario Cam, right there. C left once, and C down at the start of the staircase. That's the power of the metronome, right there. I would not get that without the metronome. Believe me, I'm very bad at BLJs. Long jump into the staircase, turn to Lakitu Cam, and go again. Do not touch the left side of this wall. You might go to Wet Dry World. And if you ever mess up your BLJs and the camera spins around, fix your camera before going for it again. Trying to do BLJs with the backwards camera is very difficult. I'm just going to use BLJ or long jumps here. I will go for this triple jump dive because Boxbox does it. If you're not comfortable with it, just don't worry about it. It only saves you a couple of seconds. Not worth losing your run over. Side flip up here, we'll just run over instead of doing a dive rollout. And a long jump up here. I actually long jumped a little too close to that green ramp, that's why I lost my speed. Now this is very important. You should learn this jump kick strategy to get through Bowser in the sky much quicker. If you fail at the end here, use this blue ramp as a backup. Or if you have to use the elevator, then you'll come to this blue ramp like this. Otherwise, you can triple jump straight to this pole. You'll notice I climb on the pole with just a well-timed beat press. You can spam the hell out of it, and that'll make sure you get up as well. I will probably show you that kick strategy in more detail at the end of the video, because I think bits is the level most people lose time in without even realizing it. Some people will have actually really good whomps, and because they practice it the most, and then they get to bits and they spend 3 to 4 minutes getting through Bowser in the sky. Learning some very basic stuff like jump kicks will help you a lot. Okay, 3 spins on the first bomb. The secret to good Bowser 3 throws is going for the same bombs every time and doing the same inputs every time. I use 3 spins, on every bomb, and I go for the same bombs every time. Sometimes you still miss, but I have plenty of time at the end of here. Sub 20 is not that difficult with some decent movement. The idea, see, that's a classic overthrow. I would have landed that if I didn't overthrow him. The idea behind going for the same bombs every time is the only way to make Bowser throws mechanical is to do it the same way every time. This is a really embarrassing showing, and I'm going to probably keep this because it is a good run otherwise. I'm very bad at Bowser throws, if I didn't say that already. I'm also using a new controller, and I'm not used to spinning on it yet. There she is. Long jump. I wait for him to land. I recommend you do this too if you're a beginner. The distance to the third bomb is the furthest of all of them. So make sure you wait for Bowser to come as close as possible and spin him plenty of times. That one you're not going to overthrow. Give it all you got. Bombs 1 and 2 and Bowser's 1 and 2, do worry about overthrowing. And here, even with multiple missed throws, you can see a very comfortable sub 20. So if you die on... Oh, how many did I miss here? There we go. If you die on CCM or something, don't worry about resetting. Try to finish the run, especially if you're still in that you know, 21 to 24 minute range. People reset usually way more than they have to. I also want to go ahead and show you that bits one more time. Again, bits is something that most people mess up even without realizing what they're doing. So swapping over to Usui Mini ROM, I'm going to give you a very good guide to the jump kicks. I can make separate videos for each of these tricks if anybody needs them. Here we're going to swap on over to Bowser in the Sky. The first thing in Bowser in the Sky, this is Dark World, is C left twice, 2 long jumps over here. If you grab the ledge, that's fine. Actually makes it easier. And then just get up here and spam long jumps. Totally fine. I think I did harder movement in the earlier run by accident. Again, there's the box triple jump. You don't have to do that. Doesn't save a whole lot of time. Side flip up here, all you gotta do, and triple jump up this slope. 1 jump dive, maybe a long jump. Okay, right here. I'm gonna save state. Your initial point is the heart. The heart is your guide. The heart is your guide for 2 reasons. Not only for spacing between you and this next peg, but also be lined up in the center. You have to be lined up in the center to hit the pole at the end. Now for every one of these jumps, both between pegs and going over the diamond peg in the middle, like for example where that red coin is sitting, we're going to do a jump kick. To input a jump kick in the air instead of diving, you have to hold back on your controller. So there's going to be this rhythm where you jump, back, kick, forward, jump, back, kick, forward, jump, back, kick, forwards. Here, triple jump dive into the pole. And you'll see I actually fell off the pole there. So here we can do our backup on the blue triangle, which I actually did in the run. If you're having trouble getting on this pole and you're like, I'm mashing, but it's, oh, well, I did it pretty well. I'm mashing, but it's just not working. Let me see if I can do that. I just can't get up this pole. I'm trying so hard. I'm mashing with everything I've got, and I can't get up. Fall down, walk over to the side, and backflip. But you gotta kind of walk far out, and it's a tight walk. I recommend just mashing the hell out of it. This part down here is really important. Practice this. Once you get used to it, it's not that bad. Jump, kick, jump, kick, jump, kick, double jump. And that's supposed to be your triple jump. I don't do this very often, so I've kind of lost the rhythm of it. But I think actually saying jump kick will actually help you. Jump, kick, jump, kick, jump, kick, double jump, triple jump dive. Pretty bad at it, surprisingly. Jump, kick, jump, kick, jump, kick, jump, triple jump dive. What I don't recommend you do is what I see some beginners do, where they kind of have this weird hybrid strat. They'll maybe jump over this thing and barely make it, and then they long jump, oh god, and then they'll try to do something here and just kind of get over. I think it's just harder, honestly, to do all that than just to get in the rhythm of jump, kick, jump, kick, jump, kick. Because once you learn it for the first couple of blocks, you learn it for all the blocks. And this rhythm here, this little back kick, backwards kick pattern, getting used to going backwards and then forwards for these kicks, will help you a lot for Bowser in the Dark World 8 red coins. Because the hardest thing you have to do on that level is a jump kick over a big gap. And if you get used to jump kicking here, this holding backwards and then forwards motion, it'll help you a lot. And again, you can see in my controller inputs how you go backwards for the kick and then hold forwards again. If you're on really good pace at the end of the run, then I guess you can ride the elevator. But it does save you a lot of time doing this. And again, the fastest way to get this blue thing is a triple jump from down here. Let me show that one more time, hopefully successfully. Actually, I think the fastest way is a side flip, jump, jump, B. And then you can mash. I will also show you in better detail BLJs, because again, I know a lot of people have trouble with that. Let me go to an upstairs segment and jump off the mountains. That way we can get to the BLJs fastest. There's 2 things I want to show you about BLJs. First of all, the way I hold my hand. I'm using Nintendo 64 controller. If you're using Xbox, GameCube, doesn't really matter. You hold the hand, your left hand's on the stick. With your right hand, put your index finger over your thumb and mash with your thumb. You're just vibrating your hand. That's the fastest way to mash with one hand. And so most of the work is coming from your elbow, actually. you tense up your hand, so it should, I'm not even trying to move it. Just tense it up so much that it shakes on its own. Balance it with your pointer finger, and let it hammer the A button. Now, the other thing about the BLJ setup is you want to press Mario Cam in this staircase here. BLJ start in the staircase. You Mario Cam as you come up here. This also fixes your camera so you can see yourself. As you go through the door, you're holding it upright. You press C left once, and when you get here, I like to do this during the turnaround animation, but you Mario Cam down. Again, if you ever lose this camera angle, fix your camera before trying to BLJ again. Then it's just a matter of going straight. If you hit the star door, you have a better chance of going through. Going straight and having the right tempo. Without the metronome, I'm not very good. Let me try it again with the metronome on. Well, it works pretty much like magic most of the time. And there you go. Now, if you ever have this situation, press A at least 8 to 10 times. Go for 8 to 10 jumps, because you might break through. And try to stay on that star door. I'm going to give it a little bit extra just to see if it's possible. But no, I lost too much speed at the top. Okay, my camera's messed up here. If it does get messed up, mine wasn't really messed up. Just go down the bottom and set it up again. Okay, I think I've over-explained things. I hope this video helped. And if you need a specific video on anything else, I'm happy to help you. Just let me know. You can, I mean, if you are a random chatter, just send me a DM, Twitch or Discord. I'll be happy to make any more material if this was helpful for anybody. The last thing about BLJs, the camera makes a big difference. Mario cam down for the first one, and again, ow, Lakitu cam for the second one. Okay, this video's too long. Goodbye.